Latest coming in from the top court of the country, the big case taken up by the Supreme Court, wherein no interim relief has been granted to Arvind Kejriwal for now in the Delhi excise policy case. The matter likely, though, is going to be taken up again on Thursday for hearing. The Supreme Court, remember, heard the bail plea moved by the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in connection with the alleged liquor policy scam. The Supreme Court during the hearing posed key questions to the Enforcement Directorate and also heard both the sides on the issue of interim bail. The Apex Court said that if they give bail to the Chief Minister, he will not be able to discharge his official duties. The Enforcement Directorate on its part, while opposing the bail plea, said that Arvind Kejriwal would not have been arrested had he cooperated in the investigation. So that's the latest coming in from the Supreme Court. Let me go across to our legal correspondent Ananya joining us with more details. Ananya, take us through the key takeaways of all that transpired in the top court. We did see an in-depth set of arguments being presented both by the Enforcement Directorate and of course by Arvind Kejriwal's legal team as well. For now, we're being told that the matter could be heard next on Thursday. So no interim relief for Arvind Kejriwal clearly for now.
Well, definitely no kind of interim relief coming in for the Delhi Chief Minister at this particular point of time, though there has been no indication from the topmost of the country whether or not it will be considering, this particular aspect of interim bail today or not. But the hearing is likely to continue on Thursday. So very clearly and categorically at this particular point of time, no kind of a relief coming in. Remember that the hearing started at 10:30 and continued till over 2:30. In between there was a lunch break. But Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the Enforcement Directorate, vehemently opposed any kind of a relief being granted to the Delhi Chief Minister because the Supreme Court was of the view that interim bail can be granted since he's an elected representative. The elections are around the corner, and in fact, so far going on to say that if at all these were not the general elections, or the election would not have been at the focus, then no kind of an interim bail would have been considered by the Supreme Court. But since he's an elected representative, since he's the the national convener of a political party and also the Chief Minister of the National Capital Territory of Delhi, that is something that the Supreme Court is considering. But at this particular point of time, no orders have been passed, nothing has been said by the Supreme Court with regards to an interim bail. At least for today, no order for Arvind Kejriwal's release can be coming in. But at the same point of time on Thursday, when the Enforcement Directorate comes back before the court, it is going to vehemently oppose with regards to any kind of relief being granted, and in fact to say that his arrest was completely legal in nature and all contours of Section 19 of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 have been complied with, and there is enough kind of a material that is available with the Enforcement Directorate that led to Arvind Kejriwal's arrest. An important point raised by Additional Solicitor General Mr. S.V. Raju before the court while he was arguing with regards to this particular aspect very clearly stated that the investigation was not even directed towards him in the first instance, but later on when evidence came to crop up, when statements came to crop up against him, then the investigation got shifted and then later on he was arrested. An important point that was also raised by Mr. Raju was that if at all he would have cooperated since October 2023 when the summons were started to be issued against him, then the situation could have been different. He might not have been arrested in this particular case or could have secured a bail until now and could have easily campaigned for the election period. Solicitor General of India Mr. Tushar Mehta constantly argued that there cannot be a distinctive law for a common man and for in fact a chief minister, because that would then send a very wrong message to the general public. So what happens next? Whether Arvind Kejriwal will be granted a little breather from the Supreme Court or not, whether the Enforcement Directorate would be able to make a good case with regards to non-grant of any kind of relief to Arvind Kejriwal or not, all these questions would likely be answered on Thursday or the next week when the Supreme Court again comes back to this particular issue.
Okay, but the biggest takeaway of course being that the Supreme Court, if at all, did favour interim bail to Arvind Kejriwal only based on the fact that this is
Thank you for watching CNBC TV 18. For all the latest news and updates, do follow us on our social media platforms.